All right, we'll begin question and answer right away. We're going to start page to your left in the second row center. Go ahead.
Maggie Vanoni.
Go ahead.
Okay, Maggie Vanoni, CT Insider. Paige, congratulations. You got emotional there talking about your teammates. How has the Husky teammates and UConn just prepared you for this moment in this next chapter?
Yeah, they mean everything to me. All that they've helped me get through, all the ups and downs, the highs and lows. They've seen every side of me, and it's the love there is unconditional. So just forever grateful for them. I want to cherish that relationship for the rest of my life, and I wouldn't be here without them. So I just want to show a state of gratitude to them.
All right, next question will come from the left toward the rear of the room in the blue.
Hey, Paige, Doug Feinberg, the AP. I'm sure you dreamed about this moment as a kid at some point. How does this compare in real life to what you would thought it would be like?
A lot faster than I thought. Just going up there, getting the jersey. But super surreal. Just like I've been talking about, just so grateful to be here. I don't want to take this for granted. I've been focusing a lot about being present and being where my feet are. So to be at this stage, to be here, to have a lot of my supporters here and people who've helped me get here, it just means everything to me.
We're going to stay in the center of the room toward the middle, in the back.
Maddie Cuddy right here with the New York Post. You were known to go #1 this entire time, but still, when you actually hear your name called, what was going through your mind and the hugs that you had with AZ and Gino, just what was that moment like?
Yeah, I mean, you don't ever want to assume anything in life. Nothing is guaranteed. So for this moment to be here, and it actually happened, it's nerve-wracking. You just have a level of excitement, nervousness, bittersweet feeling knowing that my journey at UConn's over, but excited for the next one to begin. So, and to be able to share that moment with the people sitting at my table and also the people not sitting at my table, they played a huge role in it. Just happiness and joy.
Paige, we're going to stay in the center of the room, row 2.
Hi, Paige. Congratulations on being drafted. I'm curious if you could take us through some of your pre-draft conversations with the Wings and what gives you confidence that this is going to be a place that will allow you to have a successful WNBA career.
Yeah, honestly, the conversations were brief, but just for them to know or them to know that I'm coming in and wanting to give everything I have to that organization. We have established that there's new levels of standards that are going to be set in play, and there's a new GM, there's a new coach, new assistant coach, a whole new team. So we're excited for that new fresh start. It's not a rebuild, it's just a build from where we are. And excited for the new arena, the new practice facility, and conversations with the CEO, the GM. We're excited for the future, and we only think the best is ahead.
Paige, all the way to your left, standing in the back.
Hey, Ben Pickman with The Athletic right here. You were at BAM last year at the WNBA Draft just as a fan. What do you just remember about that experience, and how did that compare to this year? And also, when you woke up this morning, just how did you feel?
Yeah, last year was definitely a different role, just in the supporting cast role, just being so extremely happy for Nika and Aaliyah to see them live out their childhood dreams, and especially coming in with them as freshmen to go through that entire journey together, and for them to get rewarded like that was extremely great to be a part of. And this time it's super different, just being in those shoes where Nika and Aaliyah were last year, but also again having my supporting cast here, and everyone that's meant so much to me. I know there's a lot of people at home and wherever they are that deserve to be here. So just super grateful for both experiences.
Paige, to your right in the second row center.
Hi, Paige. Brooke with the Players Tribune. What message do you have for the Wings fans, and what kind of player can they expect to see this coming season?
Yeah, I'm just extremely excited to be there. I've only heard great things about the city. So excited to start that new chapter and be in a new city, explore that, and give everything I have to the Wings organization. I know we're gonna do great things, and it's a fresh start, and I think we're all ready to do something special. So just extremely grateful that they took the pick on me. I can see the city has great love for that pick, and we're just super excited for the future.
Paige, second row in the center, right in the middle, second row. Annie?
Hi, Annie Constable, Front Office Sports. I'm curious, there's been a lot of discussion already about your salary with Unrivaled. Will that impact your desire at all to maybe participate in the Players Union, be a player rep in your rookie season?
Yeah, I think those are conversations I'm continuing to have, what that looks like to be a player rep, but I definitely want to be in those rooms, have those conversations, be a voice for the players and stand up for us. Just knowing what that takes and knowing what that will be if I do that, I think those are conversations I'm continuing to have.
Okay, page all the way to the right in the third row,
Hey,
last
Paige.
one on the aisle.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
The last 8 days have been a complete whirlwind, I can imagine. What has that been like for you going back and forth between New York, the parade yesterday, and how would you describe just what this whole process has been like after, leaving Tampa?
Yeah, it's been fun. I'm glad New York and stores are pretty close to each other because it's been a lot of back and forth, but it's like one part of me wants to stay at school, celebrate with the team, be with them, enjoy the last moments of being in stores, and the other part of me has to get ready for the next chapter. So it's been a lot of back and forth, but I'm running on great fumes, grateful fumes, and wouldn't trade it for anything. The life that I'm living, I'm extremely blessed. But I mean, just it's been a very blessed week, regardless of the outcomes, the circumstances. I'm blessed and highly favored.
Page second row center.
Paige, first off, congratulations. My question would be for the next generation of UConn Huskies, what would be your advice for them playing on the biggest stage and kind of that leadership component when it comes to this program?
To be present, to be where your feet are. There's a lot of pressures and expectations that come with playing at UConn. But just win every day that's in front of you. Don't worry about the future. Don't worry about the past. Don't worry about your mistakes. Don't worry about anything but what you're doing in that moment and making the most of that day, winning that day, conquering that day, and just be where your feet are.
Page to your right in the third row.
Hi, Paige. Congratulations. Leo Chano Kaya with Mail Sport up here. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Congrats again. Some of the players in the WNBA you obviously had some history with in the college ranks, and now that you're in the W, are there any particular players that you're looking forward to playing against that you haven't before, or any people that you're looking to meet again in the pro ranks?
I mean, all of my former teammates that I used to play with, Nika, Aaliyah, Liv, a few others. I mean, those are definitely the ones that I'm most excited about.
One more question from the room for a moment before I do have to jump to Zoom. Page front row center left.
Hi, Paige. Congratulations. I want to ask you about the undeniable impact you have on young people and especially young girls. I actually asked some of my friends who are fans of you to talk about why they love you and why they're fans, and they said you inspire them as athletes, you encourage them to persevere through challenges, and they're just proud of you and the journey you've been on. What is it like for you to know the impact that you have on young people?
It means everything. I aspire to be a great role model. I have 3 younger siblings myself, so to be a great role model, to be somebody that people look up to, and find a good influence on is extremely important. I know through the injuries and all the setbacks and the ups and downs, I've tried to use that as motivation to show people that they can get through it too and even come back on the other side better. And just to share my faith, share how that has impacted and changed my life, and continue to be a great role model for the next generation.
Okay, I want to jump to Zoom for a moment to Dallas, to Robert. Robert, go ahead.
Thank you. Pam, Paige, welcome to Dallas. My question for you is you're joining a team that has a solid core and new dynamic with you being on the team. So I'm curious how excited you are to play for Dallas and be in a marketplace that's just as passionate as New England and the UConn Huskies.
Yeah, Dallas is a sports city, so I'm super excited for the support, the new wave of being there, being in a new city, being with a new team, and conquering those challenges as a group. But super excited to be there. We've got great pieces, a great ownership, great GMs, great coaches. So the entire organization from up to down, I'm extremely excited for it.
Thank you.
Page to your right, all the way in the front row.
Hi, Paige. This is Chris from Chris Gunther Show. Congratulations on being selected #1. What can you express about this draft class and what this means for women's basketball moving forward?
Yeah, I think this draft class is amazing. I think there's a lot of college stars and then the overseas stars as well. But we just have a passion and a love for the game. And I think the new wave and generation of basketball players are bringing so much to the game. But obviously off the foundation that the players before us have built. So we're just continue to try to grow the game, expand the game, bring the viewership from the college game to the WNBA. And so I think we're all extremely excited as a draft class.
All right, we have time for just a couple more. Where'd I go? I'm sorry, Paige, right here, front row to your right.
Paige, congratulations.
Thank you.
How does it feel knowing that your new teammates are so excited to play with you? Arike's expressed it on social. And then also, I spoke with Dejanay earlier, and she said she would love to have a player like you as her teammate.
Yeah, just to feel loved, feel supported. It means everything. I can't wait to play in that system, to play with that team, to embrace that new city. And so to be in a place that you're loved and wanted, that's very important.
Next page, all the way to your left in the third row, last on the aisle.
Hi, Paige. Congratulations,
Thank you.
Kiana Randall Forbes. Your stepbrother wrote on social media that you guys were just doing runs every day in the summer growing up. What are some other, or who are some other people that helped you really develop your game that we wouldn't expect other than PTs and trainers, etc.?
Yeah, that's a good question. Definitely him. We played a lot of one-on-one growing up at the park. And then my old teammate, KK Adams from Hopkins, we used to bike and scooter to the park almost every day and always play. But yeah, I mean, there's so many people. Chauncey Hollingsworth was one of my trainers that trained me in high school. Reed Ouse was another one. I mean, there's so many people that contribute to the love for the game at such a young age. But yeah, I mean, my stepbrother Randy, he was one of the huge ones.
All right, this will be our last question, Paige, center row left.
Congrats, Paige. Question for you in the sneaker world. Obviously, a big, ton of momentum in the sneaker world in women's basketball specifically. Obviously, you're signed to Nike. The sneaker world is dying to know when can we expect the Paige One signature shoe, and what can you tell us about what the process of working with Nike's been like?
Yeah, I have no idea. Just based off staying in the moment, I haven't even thought about those conversations, nor have we started those. But there's a lot of people in line for that deserve it as well. So whatever happens in the future, we'll see. But it's been great working with Nike. They invest so much in me and women's basketball and women's sports. So it's been great to have that partnership. They've done a lot of stuff with me creatively as well in the lifestyle department, not just basketball. They have a great creative team who comes up with great ideas. And they've just been very supportive of me. And it was easy. It could have been easy to give up on me going through all the injuries and go to someone else that didn't have that history. But they stuck with me, and I'm extremely grateful for that.
Paige, thank you.
Thank you.
Tell us what get your component. What? Okay. So you know how far away? I couldn't do that because we ran long here. We figured this. No, I was trying to get you the one or two walk and talk, but we went long here, so. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Everybody, just real quick, the next player in will be Dominique Malanga.
She doesn't need a translator sitting. No, no. Just don't, I know she's. We should say later, but like, they go to. I'm gonna teach you some English. Yeah, friend of mine said, don't remember German, every German.
Okay, guys, we're going to start with Dominique. Dominique is going to say a few remarks first, and then we will open it to questions.
Hello,
Dominique,
everyone.
welcome. Go ahead.
Hello, everyone. I just want to say thank you to all the people that support me to be here. Big shout out to my club, Lyon, and all the coach, Johan, Flavien, Claudio, all the coaching staff that are pushing me through this year, in Tarbes, François Gomez, Isabelle Yacoubou, all these people that that surrounded me those past few years in LFB, Boulanger Wonder League in France. And I want to say a big thanks to my family that supports me since day one. And a big shout out to all my fans in Cameroon, Congo, because I know that I have a big fan base there. And yeah, so a big thank you to all that the people that support me. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dominique. We're going to begin with question and answer. We're going to start all the way to the right in the front row.
How you doing, Dominique? Congratulations on getting drafted. My name is Daniel Artest from the 9450. You've already played at the Olympics, going viral for your athleticism, competed professionally already. How has your international experience prepared you for the WNBA, and what are you most excited for? What are you most excited to show fans in the U.S.?
I would say that international FIBA basketball prepared me to toughness because it was always high level game. The Olympics, you'll watch it and you could see that the games were every game were tight. We could see great players, players that evolve in this league. So of course it was like high level teams and. Every minute that I spend on the court there, I know that I learned something and that I improve on my game. So yeah, FIBA basketball is something today, and I think that it really helped me to be ready for the league. And I'm really excited to step on the court in W and to show that European basketball is something too, and I can come here and showcase my talent.
All the way to the right. I'm sorry, third row to the right.
Bonsoir, Maxime Aubin de l'équipe.
Bonsoir.
I'm going to switch to French, right?
Parfait.
Félicitations pour ce soir. Du coup, tu es numéro 2 de la draft. C'était jamais arrivé depuis 1997, la première année de la draft. Qu'est-ce que ça représente pour toi et pour la France d'être voilà, d'être si haut?
I'm going to ask, excuse me, I'm going to ask you to ask that in English as well, so everyone else knows.
I was just asking, does it mean for her to be selected a second pick in the draft, which is the first time for a French player since 1997?
Je peux répondre en français? Can I answer it in French?
Yes.
Ah, ok. Ça représente énormément pour moi parce qu'aujourd'hui, on parle beaucoup de l'expansion et de l'évolution du basket français. Et aujourd'hui, on a beaucoup vu ça chez les garçons. Et là, ça se concrétise vraiment chez les filles aussi. Donc, ça montre que c'est la France en général. Je suis vraiment très, très contente parce que aujourd'hui, c'est vraiment mérité parce que tout le travail que j'ai fourni, c'est indescriptible. Et je suis vraiment contente que ça ait payé. Et voilà, je suis tellement fière de représenter mon pays de la meilleure des manières et de montrer que le basket français aujourd'hui est à un niveau qu'on n'a jamais vu.
Dominic, now if you would do that one in English.
The same in English? Okay. I was just saying that. No problem. I was saying that I was so proud to achieve that goal because it just showed that French basketball has evolved as we see in those past few years in the NBA side. We see Wemby or Zachary Rizache that show that French basketball is great, and now with the women, so me, it just showed that it's not only men French players, it's always also women. Sorry, and so it's just French basketball in general, and I'm so proud just to show that today French basketball is at a level that we have never seen.
All right, thank you. Next question, center, third row.
Jambari Moreau. Question, Dominique. Two questions, actually. Who do you watch in the WNBA and say that's the kind of impact that you want to have? And the other question I wanted to know is, what bigs are you excited to play against in the league?
When I see Ava Wilson play today, I say that that's the impact that I want to see because when she's on the court, you see her like she has an impact that when she's not on the court, that you see that she's not on the court, and that's really what I want to, what impact I want to have in not only in this league but also in Europe and wherever I play, and I'm excited to play against everybody in this league because today we know that it's most of the best player of the world. So I cannot say that I'm more excited for one or another player. I just want to go there and play and have fun against all that big players.
All right, we have time for just a couple more as our next players here. We're going to go third row all the way to the right. Dominique, all the way to your right over here.
Dominique, bonjour, Vincent Piala, Le Parisien. Je voulais t'interroger sur les secondes qui ont suivi l'annonce de ton nom. Ce que tu as ressenti, on t'a vu te diriger vers ta maman, je crois, qui n'était pas à la table, puis revenir à la table. Voilà, est-ce que tu peux nous raconter ça? Can you tell us about the moments after you heard your name?
C'était beaucoup d'émotions, j'étais un peu stressée, j'avais un peu les mains qui tremblaient, mais après, une fois que mon nom a été annoncé, c'était vraiment génial. Et je suis d'abord allée vers ma maman parce que, comme vous l'avez vu, elle n'était pas à la table parce que la règle, c'est que 4 personnes en plus de moi à la table, et ma famille, on est 5. Et en fait, c'est elle qui a laissé sa place, vraiment qui a forcé pour laisser sa place, quoi. Donc, en gros, je voulais que ce soit symbolique, que j'aille d'abord la voir elle, pour vraiment montrer que c'est une des personnes les plus importantes et qui devait être là finalement. Et voilà, c'est vraiment ce que je voulais montrer. Et puis, ma famille, c'est tout pour moi. Ma famille, c'est grâce à eux que je suis là aujourd'hui et c'est aussi pour eux que je fais ça. Donc, c'était vraiment beaucoup d'émotions de pouvoir les mettre, leur montrer ça aujourd'hui et les mettre en avant de cette manière.
My final question will be, can you share that one in English also,
Yeah.
please?
So it was a lot of emotion. When I heard my name, I was kind of stressed first, but the minute I heard it, it was better, of course. And I first went to my mom because she was not at the table, as you could see, because it's only 4 guests at the table. And so she let her place genuinely. So for me, it was symbolic to go to her first because she is one of the most important person of my life. She's one of the reasons that I'm here today, and I really wanted to show that. And of course, my family, my dad, my brothers, and my sister, that everything to me, they are the reason that I'm here today and my motivation of every day. So you could see that it was a lot of emotion between us, and I'm so proud and happy to have been able to bring them here today.
Dominic, thank you. To our media, stay with us. Dominic, thank you. And to our media, stay with us. We'll be joined by Sonia in just a second. Thank you, Sonia. We're going to begin. Our first question will come from the center, second row. Center, second row, Sonia.
Hey, Sonia, Jackie Powell with the Next. I'm curious if you can take us through your earliest WNBA memories, like the moment in your life when you fell in love with the league. And also if you can share with us how you've really looked at the increased mainstream attention of the league in the past few years. Like, how has that been fulfilling for you to see?
Yeah. I mean, I think I remember obviously being from Notre Dame, falling in love with that Notre Dame team that eventually all went like first rounds, and I got to watch them play and just grow in the league. It was amazing to watch him grow, watch him play, and think that maybe that someday could be me. I think I've definitely fallen in love with the league just more and more because I never thought that I could be here truly. And so, I mean, it's just amazing to be here. And as for the viewership and the growth of women's basketball, I think it means everything to me. And I think I can talk for all players when I say that. I mean, we work so hard for our craft, and to see people finally realizing that and appreciating that, I mean, it means a lot. And hopefully the trend continues, and the new draftees can be in the new usher of people that help that.
Sonia, next question, front row to your right. To your right, front row. Yes, front row to your right.
Natalie Esquire from NBC Sports. Congratulations, Sonia.
Thank you.
I wanted to know how do you feel about going to Washington to help rebuild that organization along with fellow draftees Kiki Ariafen and Georgia Amore?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really, really excited. I think it's an amazing opportunity. It's somewhere where I can really try and make an impact and learn from the amazing players that are already there. So just really, really excited to get to work, to learn from the vets there, to play alongside the rookies that you just mentioned. Yeah, just very, very excited to get to work.
Sonia, second row to your right center.
Hi, Sonia. Congratulations. Brooke with the Players Tribune. How has everything you've done up to this point helped prepare you for the next stage?
Yeah, I mean, I think to be where I am, you can't get here if you don't practice and work extremely hard on your crafts. And so, I mean, when I was a little kid, thankful to my parents who would drive me everywhere, drive me to tournaments, would pay for all of it. And I mean, I've put in the work, and it's showing. And yeah, I mean, just putting in the work. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Sonia, to your left, toward the rear.
Hey, Sonia, Doug Feinberg, the Associated Press. You're a New Yorker, so what does it mean to be drafted in New York tonight? I mean, does it make it extra special that you grew up a couple miles from here?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think when I think about getting drafted and this once in a lifetime opportunity, I want to be next to my family and my friends because I wouldn't be here without them. And so I think being in New York was an incredible opportunity where a bunch of my family could come and I could share this moment with them. So it made it truly special.
Sonia, all the way to your right in the front row.
Hey, Sign, this is Chris from the Chris Gunther Show. How special is this draft class, and what were your emotions like once you finally heard your name after all the years of hard work?
Yeah, I mean, this draft class is very, very special. I mean, obviously we know Paige and how incredible she is, but I think there is incredible talent in this draft class all throughout. And emotions, I think I was very excited, but there was definitely nerves. Like I was shaking at the table. And after hearing my name, I kind of just felt relieved. I've been very anxious to know where I was going to be, and I finally know. So I'm just excited, very relieved.
Okay, so, Sonia, second row to your left.
Hi, Sonia.
Hi.
Congratulations.
Thank
What will you tell your little girl about this moment?
I would say tell myself when I was a little girl.
Yes.
Or that you did it. I'm extremely proud of you, and just you trusted the process, you believed in yourself, and you had a village that helped you get to where you are today, and you did it. And it's not done yet. We still got a lot of work to do.
Sonia, front row, slightly to your left.
Hi, Sonia. Pepper Percy with Ish with Pepper. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I know I'm not alone in thinking that your game is perfect for a pro, but why do you believe your game will translate well?
Yeah, I mean, I think I pride myself on being able to play both sides of the ball, and I think that definitely translates. Just being an offensive threat, but also being a good defender, and I hope to keep growing in both those areas. And just my mentality, I think I'm a very dependable, steady person, and I'm gonna put the work in every day. And yeah, just very steady, and I think that can also translate.
Sonia, we have time for just a few more. All the way in the back center.
Hi, Sonia. Congratulations. Gabe Zoda from Sideline Sports Network. You said recently that you really didn't think that this would actually come this day. You didn't think you would get here. So when did you realize that, hey, maybe this is a reality, and kind of what that process was like getting to this point?
Yeah, I think I realized that it can really become I would say if you told me that I had got drafted first round, third pick, I wouldn't believe you. I think that probably became a reality to me this year, like towards the end of the season. But before that, I mean, yeah, I would have loved to play in the W, but I didn't know if it would happen. I had no clue, because when I think about the W and all the amazing people that play there, like I don't know, it seems crazy to me. But yeah, I think it was this year that I realized first round, but maybe college, I would say I was like, maybe I could do this.
Sonia, for the rear in the back, there you go. Raise your hand, please.
Hey, Sonia. Miles
Hi.
Ehrlich with Winsider. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You alluded to all of the Notre Dame players that have come before you and how they've been an inspiration. Did you reach out to anybody ahead of time to get advice for what to do today?
Yeah. Actually, no. I talked to my coaches and they went to Notre Dame, so that I guess that counts. But when you think about the Jackie, the Enriquez, all them, I haven't hit them up yet, but I told another person that they can definitely be on the lookout, because within the next couple of days, I would definitely love to chat with them about what to expect now come training camp and rookie season. So they'll definitely be getting a message from me soon.
Sonia, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
To our media, stay with us. We'll be joined by Kiki Arafan in just a minute. All right, Kiki, we're going to begin with questions right away. We're going to start all the way to your right, third row on the end.
Hi, Kiki. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How would you describe the moment of being drafted, finding out where you were going, and also knowing that you'll have some other young talent around you? I don't know if you've seen kind of everyone that got drafted alongside you to Washington, but how would you just encapsulate everything that just happened?
I truly have no words. My heart is still beating super fast. I told myself I wasn't gonna get emotional, that I was gonna be a big girl, but once your name is called, like truly, like everything that you've worked hard for, it just flashes through your mind. So I feel one super blessed and grateful that the Mystics chose me. I'm super excited to play with Sonia and with Georgia. They're great girls. I've been competing against them, so I'm excited to be teammates now. But yeah, I feel like just this opportunity is such a blessing, and there's really truly no words to describe how I'm feeling right now.
Kiki in the center to your right.
Hi, Kiki. Congratulations, Ciara with MTMV Sports. When you hear the words, I am beautiful, I am enough, what does the first thing that comes to your mind? And if you can write 2 words on a mirror entering this next level, what would it be?
Oh, wow. When I hear the first part of your question, I think about just being confident, being unapologetically yourself, and just, yeah, staying authentic. And then could you repeat the second part of your question? I'm sorry. Oh. I would say keep going and trust the process. I know that wasn't 2 words, but yes.
Okay, first row to your right, Kiki.
Hi, Kiki. Congratulations. Right here.
Okay.
Question for you. Flash forward. It's the night before your WNBA debut. What message do you have for your future self?
You belong here. Stay confident, be confident. The journey is not linear. And again, just trust the process.
Kiki, front row, all the way to your right.
How you doing, Kiki? Daniel Artest from the 9450. Your game took a leap this season. What changed in you mentally, emotionally that allowed that growth to happen?
Yeah, this whole season truly, like I title it the season of growth. I feel like I grew in all areas. I grew in all areas, excuse me, physically, spiritually, emotionally. I think on the court, I grew the most as a leader. I had to really step up. I've never really had to be in a leadership role, but I had to this season, and I had to balance being new, but also being a vet. So that was an interesting journey for me, but I learned so much from it. And then more tangible on the court, I feel like defensively is really where I took a leap. I had to guard more guards, shooting 4s, guard on the perimeter, guard flares, staggers. So really just be challenged defensively. And I feel like that's one thing that will help me, get some minutes in the W.
Kiki, also in the front row, all the way to the right.
Hi, Kiki. This is Chris Gunther from the Chris Gunther Show. What message does you being drafted send to other young girls that look like you?
You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it, but even better. I think, in my position, I'm just trying to make the league, the world a better place for the girls coming up behind me that also look like me. But I think it's great seeing representation. I'm doing it for the Nigerian girls, the little Black girls, the girls in LA, honestly, everybody that just, has helped me get to this journey. So I think I just tell them like, do it, but do it even better than I did.
I want to go to Zoom for one question. I want to go to Shai. Shai, go ahead.
Hi, Kiki. Shai for Swish in France. Congratulations.
Thank
And
you.
how important are your Nigerian roots as a person, as a basketball player? And are you already thinking about the possibility of playing for the Nigerian national team in the future?
Being Nigerian, if you ask any Nigerian, is kind of like a personality trait. Like we're super proud, we're very confident, and we have this phrase, Naija no de carry last. And that just means like in everything that you do, like you strive for excellence. If someone can do it, you can do it even better. So I think that's something that I live my life by. And then in terms of the Olympics, I don't know yet. We'll see whatever happens. But I'm excited for DC. There's a great Nigerian population over there as well. So I can't wait to get over there.
All right, this will be our last question for Kiki, all the way to the back in the center.
Hi, Kiki. Gabe Zoda from Sideline Sports Network. Congratulations. And you talked about your growth as a leader and now going to a team that is a young team, has some vets, but really young team. How can you use that growth as a leader to continue to grow, but also be a leader on a more younger squad?
Definitely. I think for me, I'm still going to listen to the girls, ahead of me and hear all that they have to give me, their advice. But I think for myself, also knowing that I have a voice, I have something to bring to the table, and still navigating with them. I feel like that's the beauty of being on a young team. We're kind of growing together. So I'm just super excited to get to work with all these ladies.
Kiki, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, everybody will be joined by Georgia A. Moore in just a moment.
Thank you.
That's Alexander.
Okay, there we go.
All right, Georgia, welcome. We're going to begin with question and answer. We're going to start right to your right. Georgia, all the way to the right, front row.
How you doing, Georgia? Daniel Artest from the 9450. You've played with and against some of the best. Like, who's the WNBA player you can't wait to compete with or prove yourself against?
To compete with, I mean, look at the team I was just selected on, right? I think, especially having that tie with Jade Melbourne, Aaliyah Edwards, a core that I've had experience with. I'm super excited to get there and, grow myself and my game, and then go out and put my best foot forward.
Georgia, front row to your left, Georgia.
Hi, Georgia. Pepper Percy with Dish with Pepper. Congratulations. You talked a lot about your relationship with Coach Brooks and how much he's meant to you. What advice has he given you that you're excited to use in your pro career?
Yeah, he's always told me to stop and smell the roses, not to get too ahead of yourself or live too far in the past, and just be super present with what's happening. And it helped me tonight, and it's going to help me going forward.
Georgia, third row in the center.
Two questions, Georgia. Your basketball IQ and passing ability is second to none. I wanted to know how much better do you feel like you could be on the next level? And I also wanted to ask, what part of your game do you feel like will surprise a lot of people?
Yeah, I mean, iron sharpens iron, right? When you get thrown into a situation like that, you either adapt or drown, right? Swim or drown. So I'm excited to go in and be challenged and mentally grow my game. Like, I know I have the capabilities. I know I have the confidence to do so. And so I'm so excited to do that. In a game, a part about me that, I don't know, might surprise people. I haven't feel like I've shown the ability to be that pesky, annoying defender. I think, just being a little bit conservative, knowing I had to be on the court during my times at Kentucky and Virginia Tech. I'm excited to kind of be able to go ahead and do that.
Georgia, toward the television in the center back.
Hey, Georgia, Doug Feinberg, the Associated Press. Watching the three picks early on, you, Kiki, and Sonia, what does it mean to have sort of the three of you together coming into this and potentially helping this franchise get back to where they want to be?
Yeah, it feels amazing. I've always said, playing against Sony for the past 4 years when she was at Notre Dame and I was at Tech, that I wanted to play with her one day. Now, I didn't think it was going to be in a situation like this. I've told her that. I think I'm pretty sure I told her mom that. So I'm super excited to be with her and through this. And Kiki, I mean, you guys just saw her. I love Kiki, her personality and her demeanor, but when she gets on court, like it's raps. And I think I've had good experience with the both of them, playing against them, but even going to camps. I went to camps with Kiki. So I'm just super excited to be with the both of them. They're great people, great players. And I'm thrilled to be a part of that.
Kiki, I'm sorry, Georgia. Georgia, second row center.
Congratulations, Georgia. Incredible outfit tonight. Can you talk about what being styled by Russell Westbrook means, especially him being the first NBA player to try to style a WNBA draftee?
I can't even find the word, so if you can help me, because it's phenomenal. He's done such a good job. And it didn't feel like it was just, to put his name on something, right? Like when we talked about the fit, it was very collaborative. He spent hours with me at the hotel today, fitting it, trying it on. So he's been very active in the process, and I can't thank that enough, because even the little bits of advice he's given me along the way, to have a contact like that now, as, someone I can try and lean on or lean into, it's amazing. And I think it's the start. You're going to see this happen more often. And I think it's just a blessing to be the first one to do it.
Georgia, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Guys, we're going to be joined right away by Anissa Morrow.
Who's going to have questions for Anissa? Who's going to have questions for Anissa? Okay.
Welcome, Anissa. We're going to begin with question and answer right away. We're going to start all the way to the, center right in the third row.
Congratulations, Anissa. Gabby Alphaby with the next. Right here. Right here.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I'm short. So the Sun are kind of going through a transitional period. I was wondering how you see yourself making an impact and fitting in on this team.
Yes, being able to have the opportunity, take advantage of those opportunities once I get to market and put the work in and try to be a workaholic, honestly, put as much work in as I possibly can.
Anissa, staying in the to your right, all the way to the right, second row.
Hi, Anissa. This is Brittany Wallace with the 9450. Holly talked about your relationship with your grandmother and how she influenced you to play basketball. Can you just please expound a little bit more on that?
Yes, she used to always tell us they paved they paved the way for us. So she was playing when it was only half a court. There wasn't a full court at that time, and she was passionate about it, and my mother was passionate about it as well. And they always talked about that grit that they had on the floor, that they were not going to back down to anybody, and they held me to that standard.
Anissa, go to your right in the front row.
Hi, Anissa. Congratulations. Brooke with the Players Tribune. Are there any matchups that you're looking forward to now that you're in the W?
Yes, I feel like I've gotten this question a lot, but I'm looking forward to a matchup against Angel. That's my former teammate. Love her to death, but I know that it's going to be two dogs clashing on the floor and trying to go up in there and get as many rebounds as we possibly can.
Anissa, we're going to go second row center.
Congratulations, Anissa. Ciara with MTMV Sports. You spoke about the sacrifices your parents made, and that's the reason you go so hard. If you could tell them anything tonight, what would it be?
That I am 100% grateful for everything. That's the reason why I go out there and work every night. I feel like that's the only way that I could pay them back. I don't really know how what other way that I can pay them back, but me just showing my gratitude for everything that they did. So when I step foot on the floor, either practice or in a game, I try to give it my all.
Anissa, all the way to the right, front row.
Congratulations, Anissa. This is Daniel Artest from the 9450. You're one of the most dominant rebounders I've ever seen in college basketball. What drives that relentlessness, and how do you keep that edge every night?
It's hard, honestly, especially being undersized, but you have to come in with a certain mindset. I set goals before every game of what I want to accomplish, and sometimes those goals might seem out of reach, but if I fall short of them, I still could have 25 and 20. So that's kind of my mindset when I go in there, is to be as dominant as I can from the tip, because I can't wait till the end of the game and try to rush and try to get rebounds, because I could have made impacts sooner that would have helped my team.
I want to go Zoom for a question. Jordan, if you would, please.
Hello, Jordan from Television Sports. First, I want to say congrats on getting drafted, Anissa. So you're going to head to Connecticut, where you get to play alongside Tina Charles. So I guess just talk about how excited are you to be learning the game from her and, improving your game?
Yes, she's a dog, double machine as well, and being able to be a sponge and learn as much about the league as she would be great. You have to come in, you have to learn from your vets and you're trying to get where they're at. So you have to be respectful, come up in there and be dominant on the floor, but also be able to go under their shoulder and ask them questions and learn.
Thank you.
Anissa, this will be our last question. Anissa, center, third row.
Jambari Moreau Sports Media. Nisa, I wanted to know, who in the WNBA do you watch and say that's the type of impact that I want to have?
I would say that I always watch AT. She's undersized, but she hold her own. She don't take no shit from nobody. She comes in there and she holds her own every night. She can defend on almost every position, and that's hard. And you have to know and have the skill to do that. You have to know who you're guarding. You have to know your scouting report, and she's very productive with that.
Anissa, thank you.
Thank you.
blue sweater. Light blue sweater. Light blue sweater. One. Oh. Light blue sweater. Yeah. One will be. All right, everybody.
What's the center of attention?
All right, welcome tonight. Tonight we're going to start in the fourth row center to your right.
Hi, Sanaya. Congratulations. Miles Ehrlich with Winsider. There was a lot of preparation that you could do, a lot of stuff you could anticipate today. But was there something, a moment today that kind of took you by surprise that you're really going to treasure from this whole experience?
I think the whole experience is something to treasure, honestly. The whole weekend, I felt absolutely blessed. I think the fact that my family is just here supporting me at the table and in the crowd is just means the world to me. Like I said already, they've sacrificed so much time, money, energy, and just the fact they're sitting here with me today and the fact that I'm talking to you guys today is just so surreal. So I'm just grateful for the opportunity.
So now, next question, all the way to your left in the third row.
Sanaya Rivers, this is Rob McLean from Inside Pack Sports. If you don't mind, ma'am, just articulate what it is about NC State that led you to make that decision. And if you were to speak to someone about attending NC State, what would you suggest to them in regard in terms of preparing you for this moment?
Yeah, you have to have a mental toughness to play at NC State. Coach Moore, very passionate. I said it all season. He's a tough coach to play for, but it's only because he cares and he recruits good people. And I feel like that's why he gave me a second chance to come in since I came from South Carolina. He recruits good people, only wants good people with him and to succeed. And he creates great players. And I'm just blessed that I had the opportunity to play for him. He's part of the reason that I'm here. So to girls that are looking for a program or have already committed to NC State, just stay the course, stay in the moment. If he's hard on you, it's just because he knows that you're capable and he just has high standards. So just keep going and maybe you'll end up where I'm sitting. That's the hope.
So next question, front row, slightly to your right.
Hi, Sanaya. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How do you feel about you and Anissa Mara both going to the Connecticut Sun? What are your thoughts on playing with her?
That's my dog. Like, y'all, I'm so happy to be playing with her. I was literally telling people, like, playing against her in the W is going to be so tough. I literally had to guard her in the Sweet 16, and I was just like, I don't want, we're not doing that. So just to be able to team up with her, she has that dog mentality, and she's just a great person on and off the court, a great teammate. I've seen her be a great teammate to others, so I'm just really looking forward to playing alongside her and just growing together. And we're gonna make some noise for sure.
So now staying in the front row, all the way to your right.
Hey, Sanaya, Chris from the Chris Gunther Show. Love that bag. Looks really nice, by the way.
Thank you.
So when you look back over this night, 10, 20 years from now, what is going to be the thing that you remember the most?
Goodness. I think just having the opportunity. I don't really know what else to say other than that. This is a blessing. Only a couple of people get the opportunity to be here, and then only a couple people get the opportunity to be in this position to sit. So I think 10, 15 years later, I'm just going to look and say that I was blessed and God put me here. He doesn't put me in situations or anyone in situations that they can't handle. So just to be here, I know that I'm more than capable, and I know that I haven't even scratched the surface of the player I can be. So I'm just more than willing and ready to get ready and start working.
Sanaya, we have time for just a couple more. Last row, center right.
Hi, Sanaya. Congratulations. Gabe Zoda from Sideline Sports Network. Obviously, we got to talk about the center of attention here, the bag. Obviously, the meaning is pretty self-explanatory, but to you, why was it important to have this and show it off to everybody?
I mean, I use this motivation. I was just like, I'm at the WNBA draft. I'm hoping to be a WNBA player. And just as the bag says, like, we're popping. So I want to speak it into existence and be a part of the, popping crew. And now that I'm here, I can truly say that I'm ready to, pop it. So yeah, it's crazy. Like, shout out to Golden. She's my designer for this whole thing, my stylist. And she had the bag on hand. I'm just like, it's perfect. My hair's red. You got the red word right here and then the beige outfit. So it was really it came together perfectly.
Sanaya, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Sarah Ashley, we're going to start right to your right in the front row. First two questions, front row to the right.
How you doing, Sarah? This is Daniel Artest from the 9450. After having an amazing game in Maryland, setting that scoring record for Alabama, what clicked for you mentally and emotionally in that moment, and how you carry that same energy as you go into your pro career?
Yeah, I think it's just being so grateful that I even get to play the game of basketball. For me, every single time I step out on the floor, I just love basketball so much. And so I just try to go out there every single night and just play as hard as I can and try to do the little things. And for me, for at the next level, it's just about doing those little things. LA has such amazing players, and I'm so lucky that I get to learn under all of them and just get there, the vets, just understand how they do things. And at the next level, it's doing the little things. It's the rebounding, it's the assists, it's how you can defend. And that's what all goes into not just a 45-point performance, it was the other things too.
Next question, also from the front row to your right.
Hey, how you doing? Chris from the Chris Gunther Show. Congratulations. What is it that you're really looking forward to the most at the next level?
I think it's just learning from other people. Like I said, it's just there's so many great players in the W, and I'm so excited for the competition, for the athleticism, and just a new chapter in my life. I've been in college for 5 years, and so I'm just ready to start that next chapter.
Sarah Ashley, next question, second row, slightly to your right.
Hi, Sarah. Congratulations, Ciara with MTMV Sports. And I had watched this video of you, and you spoke about your teammate, Claire, and how you used to put up shots just to beat her, and she gave you this great motivation. What will you say to that young Sarah in that gym today?
Yeah, I think it's just understanding that you never know what you can do. And so if you just give it your all and give it your best shot, that you can do anything in life. And as long as I try my hardest, I'm not so much worried about the outcome because I know that I'm going to give it my all.
Next question will come from your right, all the way in the back, last row.
Congratulations, first of all. Second of all, I just want to know if there was a moment or, in your high school, college career where it went from like a hobby or something you were passionate about to something you started treating, almost like a full-time job, like a pro that got to where you are now, or if it was just more gradual.
Yeah, I've loved basketball since I was 6 years old. So when I got into high school and started getting recruited by colleges, I knew that I wanted to play at the next level, and I knew that I wanted to play basketball for as long as I could. When I was in 8th grade, I had a knee injury that could have taken me away from the game of basketball. And so for me at 13 years old, like I couldn't run for 9 months and I was out for a whole year or over a year. And so for me to even be able to step on the floor, it means the world to me. And so I'm just so grateful that I just have the opportunity to continue playing. And I just love it so much that I knew that I wanted to play as long as I could.
Next question, second row, center, just to your left.
Hi. You had a 45 piece in the NCAA tournament. Now, obviously, scoring 45 in just any game, like that's hard enough, but doing it at that level is even crazier. The average human being is not going to drop a 45-point game in their life. Describe what it was like being locked into that zone.
Yeah, it was surreal. I mean, that game, like I said in the press conference after that game, was like it was one of the best women's basketball games I think anyone has ever watched. It was so good for the sport. It was so good for just women's basketball itself. And so it was one of those moments where after the game, I was like, wow, like I really didn't realize that I scored 45 points. I think one of my coaches came up to me after and said, I don't think you understand what you just put on and what you just did. And it just made me kind of just be so grateful that I was even in that position and that I had the opportunity to have such a great game like that. But 45 points doesn't come from me. I mean, I had to have people passing me the ball. I had to have people creating opportunities like Aaliyah Nye. She's one of my teammates. She's the best shooter in the country, in my opinion. And if people were to come off of her, I was going to hit her the shot. So it gave me an ability to get downhill and get to the rim. So if I didn't have teammates like that on my team, that 45 would never be there. If I didn't have coaches that love me and support me and always encourage me, like that 45 would never be there. So yes, like it was in my name 45, but I take it as an Alabama thing for me. I'm not gonna say. I don't know. that would be very hard. There's amazing defenders in the W, and I would just be so grateful to just even be on the floor.
Next question, second row, center.
Congratulations, Sarah. Now that you're in LA, you're going to be around a bunch of players that all have very interesting style, and especially with sneakers. You have Kelsey with Under Armour, wearing Curry, also Cam with New Balance. What can we expect to see you wearing? I feel like we see you wear Kobe's usually. What can you bring to the W?
Yeah, I mean, I'll see what they wear and maybe try on some of their stuff and just go from there. I mean, I love the Kobe shoe. I've always worn it. But for me, I think it's just like you said, like my new teammates, they have all these shoes that I'm lucky that I even get to be a part of that with them. And so I'm really looking forward to their style and seeing what kind of shoes they wear.
All right, I want to go to Zoom for one. Jordan. Jordan, if you would, please.
Hello, Jordan from Television Sports. Congrats on getting drafted. I guess just talk about how excited you are to, play alongside players like Erica, Kelsey, and Rakia in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I mean, all three of those players are just amazing players. I'm so blessed and so lucky that I get to do that. I played against Rakia when I was in the SEC for about 4 years, and so I know how hard she works. I know how great of a player she is, and then she's also such a great person. And then the other two, like I'm just really excited to get to know them, be around them. But it's just about learning from them because they have experience. They're more experienced than me, and so I'm just so grateful and lucky that I have those people to learn from.
Sarah, thank you. Thank you very much. All set.
Thank you.
We're going to begin right away with questions for Aisha. We'll start to your right in the first row.
Hey, Ashay, this is Chris from the Chris Gunther Show. Congratulations. What is something that you're going to take with you from tonight to the W?
For sure, the experience that I got to experience here was great. Being surrounded by all these players. Just being here, get to know the league, get to know more the rules, everything. So yeah, I think that's it.
Aisha, staying in the front row, all the way to the right.
How you doing? This is Daniel Artest from the 9450. You've competed against elite international talent. Like, who's your biggest inspiration from the European game and why?
For sure, my captain in the national team, Thea Oblak. I think she's really an idol for me since I was little. I was watching her going to go watch the national team play. So I just really love her vision, her passion in the game, and I really hope to become someone like her one day.
I want to hop over to Zoom for a second in Chicago. Jason, go ahead.
Hi, Aisha. Jason Leisure with the Chicago Sun-Times. What do you know about the Sky and the roster playing with Angel Reese and the rest of their team?
So I played with Marina in Skio, and I know she was going to Sky that year. So she also gave me a shirt. I have one already. But yeah, I'm just really excited to play with all these great players, like Angel Reese, of course. Yeah, can't wait to start.
Aisha, our next two questions are going to come from the very back last row, slightly to your right.
Hi, Aisha. How you doing? Congratulations. What can WNBA fans know about you that doesn't show up on your stat sheet? And second question is, what do you think will translate mostly? What part of your game will translate the most in the W?
For sure, the experience that I have, playing in Europe. On college, you really play against people your age or maybe with 2-3 years of difference. But there, I have so many players that are maybe 16 years older than me. So I think these experiences can really make a transition easier for me.
Also, last row, slightly to the right.
How are you? Gabe Zoda from Sideline Sports Network. Congratulations on tonight. You talk about the advantage of playing from internationally coming over to the United States. There's been this whole wave of international players now coming to the United States and being part of this amazing league. Just what does that mean that more teams are looking more towards international players to really be a part of this great league?
I'm so glad it's like this because, it shows that we really work well in Europe. Especially, I think, like these Balkan countries like Serbia, Croatia, Slovenia, we really have like the talent and this old school, like the tough basketball that we play. So like, I'm really glad people also in America get to see that now.
All right, I want to switch to Zoom for a moment. I'm going to go to Shai. Shai, go ahead.
Hi, Asia. Slovenia is a small country with lots of talented athletes in basketball, of course, with Luka Doncic, or cycling with Pogacar. Why do you think there is such a density of talented athletes in your country?
Honestly, I don't know. We're so like small. We have 2 million people. But really like our sport is amazing. Like no matter what sport, we have at least like, someone that's great in it. And I'm just like really proud to be Slovenian.
I just want to stay with Zoom. I want to go to Brad. Brad, go ahead.
Yes, hi. I was wondering, as you were experiencing all the draft activities this weekend, how did you feel being in New York and just being around all your other draftees?
It's my first time in New York, so for sure it's, a big thing for me. But just to be with all these players, it's great. They're like stars here already. So I think just we talked so much. We talked to people, to like the media that we had. I really got to see like their how they look to some things, their perspective. So I think it just gave me like experience.
Aisha, thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, we'll be joined next by Haley Van Lith. Everybody, once again, we'll be joined by Haley Van Lith. All right, everybody, we'll begin with Haley in just a moment. Haley is going to make her remarks first, and then we will turn it over to questions. All right. Haley, thank you. We're
Recording
going
in
to start with
progress.
questions all the way to the left in the third row.
Hi, Haley. Maddie Kenny with the New York Post. Congratulations. Angel Reese has already tweeted about how she's excited to run it back with you. Just what does it mean to be reunited with her, and what are you most looking forward to joining forces again?
Yeah, Angel has maintained contact with me this whole past year since she's been in the league and I transferred. I really appreciate her. We have a very mature relationship, a mutual respect relationship where we both have respect for each other's game and also the character and the person we are off the court. So mostly I'm just excited to get to be around her again. I think we have a lot of similarities about how we carry ourselves and our mindset on, what's important to us. And, she's a dog, man. She turns up the intensity of everybody around her. So I'm excited to be in that environment with her again where she can pull more out of me than I think I have.
Haley, we're going to stay front row, slightly to your right.
Hi, Haley. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What are you looking to bring to Chicago when you go there?
Yeah, first and foremost, I'm wanting to bring a toughness, a resilience, whatever my role is, whatever my opportunities are. I think I just want to contribute to the culture of tough, selfless, hardworking players that I think that they're looking to join to the program. And so that's what I am looking to bring. It's more of an attitude, a mindset than anything. And, I think I'm more than capable of doing that.
Haley, in the second row, all the way to your left.
Haley, Doug Feinberg, Associated Press. Commissioner Engelbert said before the draft that they're trying to do things to help combat the vitriol that you guys all face on social media, such, and mental health, having counselors available. And you've been very vocal about your getting mental health help. How important is it to hear that the commissioner is trying to help you guys combat the negativity that I'm sure seen on social media towards basketball players like yourself?
Yeah, I mean, it feels good to join a league that is not only concerned about our level of play, but also how we're functioning as humans. So that was encouraging. And at our rookie orientation that we had here, they showed us an app that they're partnering with that will help filter hate comments off of our channels. And I think that's important, not only for us as the players to not see that, but also young women and young boys who are following us. They don't want to see that on our page either when they look to us for inspiration. We don't need to expose them to that. And I think that's what is most important is the next generation that is looking to us as inspiration. They don't need to know that that is something that you go through. And I think that it's amazing that WNBA is putting support behind it.
Haley, next question, third row, toward the far end on the right.
Hi, Haley. Congratulations. Leah Chanokaya with Male Sport. Obviously, big narrative is your reunion with Angel coming into the W. But that being said, there are plenty of players in the league that you have faced in college as well. Are there any particular players that you're looking forward to playing against in the W, whether you've played with them or against them in the NCAA or not?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many players in the league that are great. The WNBA is so unique with how powerful the talent is because it is so small. So I would be crazy to sit up here and pick one. I'm excited to just see how I stack up against this level of play. I think it's a competition that I'm ready to embrace, that I'm excited to embrace. So, I think it's too hard to pick one. I'm just excited for every day in training camp. That's my concern right now.
All right, I want to jump to Zoom for 2 questions, and then we'll come back to the room for just a few. We're going to jump to Willie. Willie, if you would.
Thank you. Hi, Haley. You said on the pre-draft, Willie Ramirez with WGRamirez.com, you said on the pre-draft show that you were glad you stayed in college as long as you did because it helped you grow both physically and mentally. You just touched on mental health. Can you tell us what you're willing to share, how you've been able to manage, navigate, and strengthen your mental health through not only college, but representing America and building your brand and character?
Yeah, for sure. I think one, the work that I've done with my sports psychologist, Derek Grant, he's actually here today to support me. That's how close and how instrumental he has been to my career. I wanted him here, no question. But the work I've done with him on how to control my inner state of being and reducing the effect that external factors have on that inner state of being has been the most important thing because that impacts confidence, that impacts quality of life, that impacts reads I make in the pick and roll, believe it or not. It goes that deep. And mental health for me is so important to my game. I'm such a mental player. I'm so passionate. I love basketball. I want to be the best that I can. So mentally, naturally, where my mindset is pivotal to my performance on the court. And so the work I've done with Derek to improve and enhance that mindset and streamline it to where I'm experiencing less lulls has been the most important thing.
All right, I want to go to Zoom, one more, and then 2 in the room. I want to go to Chicago. Jason.
Hi, Haley. Jason Leisure with the Chicago Sun-Times. Congratulations, first off. I have two questions for you. The first, you mentioned a lot of your friendship with Angel Reese. What about on the court? Why do you guys work together on the court?
Yeah, on the court, we both are just tough dogs on the court. I mean, she's willing to do things that aren't pretty to win. And I'm talking about aggressive rebounding, defense, things that, aren't, we call it sexy basketball. Like she's willing to execute those things to get a win. And I think that I share that character trait with her. And ultimately, something about Angel that I think isn't talked about enough is that she's out there to win, regardless of what that means for her role, her stat line that game, whatever a team needs from her, that's what she's going to provide. And I think I too have that persona about me that it doesn't matter what the team needs from me. If it's going to result in a win, I'm willing to lay it out there and try to provide that. So it's more of a toughness, resilience, like grittiness to our game that I think aligns with each other.
All right.
Secondly,
We have time for just two more. I go to the last row, just to the right of the television, Haley.
Sean Armour here from She Got Game. This past season, it's no secret, it's been essentially a revenge tour for you. After transferring to TCU, essentially rebuilding your stock, finding success in the tournament. What does overall and changing the overall narrative? What does it say just about your character, your spirit as a player, and just the type of player the Chicago Sky receiver?
Yeah, I think really in my eyes, it shows that I didn't care enough to call it a revenge tour. Nothing that ever happened in the past or the events that took place at previous schools that never hit me deep enough to where I felt like I had to get my lick back or any of that. The Lord put me in situations that I needed to go through to grow as a basketball player and a human being. And that's not something that I was ever mad about. I accepted that. I worked through it with my sports psychologist. We understood together, like, hey, Haley, like this is something that you can grow from. Like this is an experience you should embrace. You should run towards this. So I think what it says about me is really that I didn't care. That was not something that was keeping me from sleeping at night. And that shows somebody who really believes in themselves. And at the end of the day, the next level, it's all about who believes they can. So if I can carry that over to the next level, I think I'm setting myself up for success.
All right, this will be our last question from the room. Center row second, Haley.
Hi, Haley. Jackie Powell with the Next. The WNBA is a league that is known for advocacy in many different lanes and about different social issues and even on mental health. So I'm just curious how you want to continue to be an advocate as a pro if it is about mental health.
Yeah, I think that is something that I'm still figuring out. The first thing was to get drafted to a team. And before today, I didn't know if that was going to happen. So now that we know that that has happened, I can start to really address that. But I have been thinking about that. And I think I have a unique platform where I'm popular on social media, but I don't supply or I don't put myself out there as much as some others. And I think it provides me a new or a unique lane to be super authentic and connect with people. So I'm not really sure. My answer is I'm not really sure how that'll happen yet, but I'm a woman of God, and I think that God will make that path very known when it comes to time. So I have faith that however He needs me to touch people, He will provide the avenue for me to do that. And in college, that was through media in the NCAA tournament when all the eyes were on women's basketball. So I'm not sure what that looks like for me in the league, but I have faith that it'll happen.
Haley, thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
brings nice length. She was dealing with the latter part of the year, but I heard being quite a bit as a potential first-round draft pick. This young woman can flat score, terrific shooter, and she's proven that she can facilitate as well. And she's just got great size. The way that she plays, the way that she uses her body, even here, she's got a strong frame, great length. For me, what I like about Cyan Summers is the way her game developed from her freshman year to her last year at Maryland. She works on her game, puts the time in, which she could do at Golden State. Cheyenne is standing by with Holly Rowe. A lot of emotion. Sometimes waiting is hard. What's it like when you hear your name called finally? This is something
Okay, do I need a?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not saying.
Give a big hug to your mom. You've got a special tattoo on your arm. I want to get it right. Living strong, fighting long. What has your mother meant to you? I know that you wanted to say something.
Welcome, Isaiah. We're going to start. First question, all the way to your left, third row.
Hey, Isaiah, what is it about NC State that you believe helped prepare you for this moment? And if you were to speak to others that were considering making the same decision, how would you address that?
The culture, it starts with the fans. They're not just fans; they're our family. Leading to our coaching staff, they push us day in, day out. Leading to the teammates and the players, that's the former players that come back to the games and teach us things, and the players that's on the team, the togetherness, the chemistry, the gelness that we play with each other on and off the court. For the future people that's looking at NC State, just go to a home game and just feel the energy and the love that we bring, and just see it for yourself.
Isaiah, we're going to go to front row, all the way to your right.
Hey, how you doing? This is Chris from the Chris Gunther Show. Thank you for taking this quick time out. You're a player of a lot of edge, and that's something that has carried you to this point. What is it that you're going to also be able to take with you to the W, especially with everything that we know the W is looking forward to this year?
Just being that dog, just finding any keys that, Dallas needs and me putting that effort, for them, just pushing myself, pushing my teammates, being that energetic rookie, motivating my vets, being that sponge, learning new information from my vets. And, when my number is called, whenever it is, I'm being ready.
Next question, Isaiah, to your right, standing here.
How you doing? This is Daniel Artest from the 9450. You always been a killer on offense. Like, what's your personal mindset when you got the ball in your hands and that shot clock is winding down? How you expect to bring that to the WNBA?
Whenever that shot clock is running down, trying to find that bucket. If I can't find that bucket, finding that open teammate, whatever's getting the team a good bucket, and just keeping going.
Next question, all the way to the back, just to the right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Right here to the front, Mike, to the right.
Hi, Isaiah. This is Brittany Wallace from the 9450. Can you please just talk about in this day and age of NIL and athletes like more noticeably, building their brands, how have you specifically adopted an entrepreneurial mindset for yourself, and how will you take that into the W with you?
Just watching the ones before me, just how they present themselves. And I feel like I can present myself the same way, I feel like my brand just shows a lot, and it tells you like I'm a dog. I feel like I surround myself with embrace of my brother, with his passing. I feel like that inspired me to keep going. I feel like that's going to take me a long way. Thank you.
Next question, all the way in the back to the right.
Hi, Isaiah. Congratulations on
Thank
tonight.
you.
Gabe Zoda, Sideline Sports Network. You talk about being a dog. You're joining a team in Dallas that has a couple of them with Dejanay, Nalissa Smith, Arike on offense, and now Paige and yourself. Just talk about how that group is really going to help you and how you can also help them.
Just having all dogs on the team, it's gonna be crazy. I can't wait to experience it. I can't wait for them, push me around, make me better. I just can't wait to just get all information from them.
All right, Isaiah, we're going to go to Zoom for a few folks from Carolina. We're going to start with Jaden. Jaden, go ahead.
Hey, Zaza, when you look at your career at NC State and everything you've accomplished and now being on this stage, what would you say to first day Isaiah?
Girl, it's a lot coming your way. A lot of doors gonna be closing, but more is gonna be opening. Stay patient, keep working. You're gonna get your turn, and the light's gonna shine on you one day.
All right, staying in Carolina, going to go to Noah. Noah, go ahead.
Hey, Isaiah. NC State was the only school in the first round that have two picks. What was that like to be able to do it with Sanaya tonight? And what does it say just about what Coach Moore's been building in Raleigh?
It shows a lot. I love that girl to death. We call each other our twins, and we're sisters for life. I told her she gonna be my flower girl at my wedding, and we just love each other so much. We work hard. We have ups and downs, and we have so much adversity coming towards us. And just to see both of our names called in the first round, it just shows a lot. It shows a lot about Coach Moore's character, how he pushes us every day, and how he motivates us, and not only us but the rest of the team. So that shows a lot.
All right, staying on Zoom, Connor. Connor, go ahead.
Hey, Isaiah, Connor Reel from 13 News Now in Norfolk, Virginia. You keep on elevating stages. It just gets bigger and bigger. But we remember you here for winning state championships at Princess Anne, playing for Coach Dozier, being from Hampton Roads. As you kind of reflect on your whole journey, what stands out about that part, high school, middle school, and your time here in the Hampton Roads area?
It shows that I'm an on-course player. I came from, like you said, middle school, winning all 3 championships in middle school, winning all 4 state championships in high school, then coming to college and being humble. And I didn't, leave or, just give up. I stayed the course. I motivated myself and I kept working. So it shows a lot about myself.
All right, this will be our last question. We're going to stay on Zoom. We're going to go to Jody. Jody, go ahead.
Hey, Azad. This is Jody, based out of Dallas, Texas, covering the Wings for the last 3 seasons. We are very excited to have you down here with us in Dallas. You spoke about being excited about playing and being in a group with a room full of dogs. So much newness in Dallas, new head coach, new GM, new stadium, all of that. What do you think that you're going to bring to the team for this upcoming season?
I feel like they bring a lot to the team already. I feel like I can just, find my space, be myself, see where we're missing. And I feel like I can fill that void. I'm ready to be that rookie that bringing that clapping hand in practice and on the bench. I'm ready for my number to be called. I'm ready to just be there and, just feel the experience and just be ready.
Isaiah, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, to our media, we're going to be joined by the first player who was selected from the audience tonight, Aaliyah Knive. Nancy. 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 Aaliyah, welcome. We are going to start. I'm to your right, and we're going to start with a few folks in the crowd here. Third row center, Aaliyah.
Hey, Aaliyah, congratulations. Your teammate or former teammate, Sarah Ashley Barker, told us a couple of moments ago that you are the best shooter in the country, in her opinion. Can you just speak to your reaction to that? And also just how would you describe having played with her this past season?
Yeah, my coaches, my teammates, my parents, my support system, they always say that I'm the best shooter in the nation, and I'm just so blessed to have a support system like them, to just give me confidence. And Essay, she's just an amazing leader, an amazing teammate, an amazing person all around, and I just loved playing with her. And I also was like, wait, how far is LA from Vegas? Because we're gonna be on the West Coast. So yeah, I'm just blessed to have her as a teammate and to have played with her for 3 years. She's an amazing person.
Aaliyah, next question, right in the center in the second row.
Oh, there we go. Jackie Powell with the next. I'm just curious if you can take us through what the emotion was like. I mean, obviously you came to cheer on your teammate and then you get called. So what was that moment like for you?
It's very nerve-wracking. I got very nervous. I'm excited, obviously, to be picked, and I'm just very blessed. There's so many people that have supported me through this whole journey. So I was just very excited and also nervous at the same time.
I want to go to Zoom. I want to go to Alabama to Matthew. Matthew, go ahead. I'll go right here, row one.
Matthew Mason, Crimson White.
All right, Matthew. All right, go ahead, Matthew.
Sorry about that. Congratulations, Leah. There's been a lot of great things that you and your teammates have done, but one of the common themes is that you guys never care about the individual accomplishments and y'all care about yourself and the team. Just kind of expand on that and what you can do to take that with you into the W.
Yeah, I mean, when you're coming into the W, you're playing with great players, so you're not going to get all the shine like you may have done in college. So I think just having that value to my team and my teammates is very important. We share the love, and all we care about is getting wins. So I think it'll just carry over to the W. And I just want to say thanks, Matthew, for covering us too.
All right, thank you, Matthew. We're going to stay right here in the room, front row to your right, Aaliyah.
Hey, Aaliyah, Chris from the Chris Gunther Show. Thank you for taking this brief time out. We understand that at every level, you got to prove yourself and you got to make sure that, you're bringing it, because at any given moment, something can happen. But who are you excited about facing up against the most that's going to really make you bring it?
I'm excited to play everyone. I mean, it's an amazing experience to be able to play in the W, and I'm just gonna work as hard as I can to go out there and compete every single day.
All right, I want to go to Zoom and I may mispronounce this. I'm sorry, Jaisha.
You pronounced it right. Hey, Aaliyah, Jaisha from Tide 100.9, been covering you all season long. One thing I wanted to point out is you are now one of the 10th women coming through Alabama to ever be drafted. I just want to ask, what does it mean to be a part of that history and to be that 10th player?
I would just say Alabama is growing. The coaches, what they've done there these past 3 years that I've been here is amazing. They recruit people with good morals and just hard workers, and I'm just proud to represent Alabama, and I just hope that it continues to get more WNBA players that want to play at Alabama and just continue to grow Alabama as a program.
Anyone else? Aaliyah, this will be our last question, and it'll come from just to the right of the television, all the way in the back.
Aaliyah, congratulations. Gabe Zoda, Sideline Sports Network. Just talk about just on the basketball court. You're joining a team here with one of the best point guards that the league has ever seen, obviously, and also one of the best power forwards in Asia Wilson. Just you in your role, just how exciting is that? Just having that opportunity to maybe get a lot more open shots with that group.
Yeah, so having a point guard that can find you is really important, especially as a shooter. But I'm just excited to space the floor for Asia and get her more looks and other people. I think with my ability to shoot, people have to guard me and stay connected. And I think I space the floor really well. So even if I'm not getting those shots, I'm just excited to just help my teammates.
Aaliyah, thank you.
Thank you.
Madison, welcome. We're going to start right away with question and answer, and it's going to come from the first two questions will come from the front row to your right. Both questions front row right.
Hi, Madison. Congratulations. You first, I'm Ciara with MTMV Sports. Your word for your final season was joy. And here on draft night, how is that word taken on a new meaning for you?
I get, you saw it with my tears. Those weren't sad tears; those were tears of joy. This year, Coach O was big on making joy our word because it's important that we have gratitude through it all. Like things could always be worse. You know what I'm saying? And look at me. As much as I doubted myself, and as much as I didn't always come out on top. God was with me through it all, and look where I'm sitting right now. And I'm so blessed and grateful to be here. So blessed to be, going to Dallas, and just so happy to see what God has planned for me. And I plan, no matter what God has planned, I plan to do it all with joy. So,
staying in the front row to your right, Madison.
Hey, Madison, how you doing?
How you
Chris from the
doing?
Chris Gunther Show. First of all, I love the ice around your neck. Just
Thank
putting
you.
it out there. Just want to go ahead and bam that.
Thank you.
What is it about playing in the W that you're looking forward to the most?
Competing against the best in the world. I'm a competitor. I love to compete, especially on that defensive end. It starts there. It gets me motivated, gets me juiced up, So I'm looking forward to competing against the best. These are legends that I watched growing up. These are people that I aspire to be like. These are people that I study and really idolize. So I'm just really excited to compete against the best. And, may the chips fall where they fall. Sometimes they're gonna get me, sometimes I'll get them. I just want to compete at a high level and just grow and learn and just be the best that I can be.
Next two questions, Madison, will come from the last row to the right of the television set.
Hey, Madison,
Hi.
Congratulations on tonight.
Thank
Gabe
you.
Zoda from Sideline Sports Network. You talk about the effort you want to put on the defensive end. You're going to be with Dejanay Carrington, one of the better defenders in the league. Just talk about being able to learn from her, and just what those conversations are going to be like throughout this process.
Dejanay is absolutely amazing. She is that person that's gonna lock you up. She's gonna guard the best player. And she's been in the league, so she has that experience. I cannot wait for training camp so I can be up under her, be a sponge, and just learn all there is to learn, because one thing about me is I'm versatile. I'll be switching and I'll be guarding those guard positions that Dejanay guards, So any tips that she can give me, any knowledge that she can give me, I want it all because I want to be great and I want to surround myself around people that want to be great as well, So it starts on the defensive end, and I'm excited to have those conversations with Dejanay and get all the tools and any knowledge that she has that will help me, grow and be the best that I can be this season.
Madison, staying in the last row to the right of the television.
Yes.
How you doing, Madison?
Hi.
Congratulations, Kenny with NYLF TV. Well, you're one of 4 players from Ole Miss to leave with over 1,600 points, 1,000 rebounds. You have multiple defensive teams. Just talk about something that doesn't show up on the stat sheet that will just tell WNBA fans about yourself.
My leadership, and one thing that I plan to show, let me start over. My leadership, but I want to make sure that I come in with that leadership even as a rookie. Of course I want to come in and be a sponge and learn from all these vets and gain as much knowledge as possible, but I also want to still be me. And I know that I could communicate at a high level. I know that I'm a great teammate. I know that I can encourage and bring people along with me. And I know that I'm also a great follower. So I know when I need to follow. So I think that's all makeups of what makes me a great leader. And of course, I'll continue to grow and get better. But I plan to come in and bring, that leadership. And that doesn't always show up on a stat sheet. But I think my presence is big. And I'm going to be that energy ball. I'm going to come in with all that passion. I'm going to bring, anything that needs to be brought for our team to be successful. And I can't wait to showcase that as soon as I touch down in Dallas.
I want to move over to Zoom for a couple. We're going to go to both Dallas and Ole Miss. We're going to start with Robert in Dallas.
Thank you so much. And my question is just basically like, what are the intangibles that you're looking forward to bringing to this incredibly talented team, and what message do you have for the Dallas sports fans?
It's gonna start on the defensive end. I keep harping on that, but I've been, in the program for 5 years where our motto was dictate and disrupt. It's embedded in me. It's in my blood, to play defense at a high level. And when you look at our team with Paige and Isaiah and Enrique, and I can go down the list of offensive power, great players. How can I help this team? You get what I'm saying? And yes, there'll be direct things that Dallas asked me to do to help the team, but I know that I can come in immediately and be a force on defense. You get what I'm saying? Around all these great players and to help them out. So, again, that's what I plan on bringing. It's going to start on defensive end, and again, I'll learn and grow, and my role will expand, and yeah, I'll learn and grow, and my role will continue to expand. Sorry.
All right, we're going to jump to Ole Miss for a couple. We're going to go to Dalen and then Evie. Dalen, followed by Evie.
Maddie here with the Little Walk. So excited for you and grateful to cover your career at Ole Miss over the last couple of years.
Thank you.
For you, you were able to sustain something that we don't see too often in college basketball anymore. Just staying at a school for the longevity that you stayed at Ole Miss. For this now moving forward point for you in Dallas, what are going to be your immediate goals when you touch down in the 214 and arrive with your new teammates in Dallas?
To work my butt off and to stick. I want to really stick on this team. I want to help this team be successful. I want to help this team have a great season. So I'm going to do everything in my power to do that. I'm going to work my butt off, not only in practice, but outside of practice. I'm going to be with those vets, Dejanay, like we already talked about, and gain as much knowledge as possible. I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that I'm putting myself in the best opportunity, the best place to stick on this team, because I really want to help this team be successful. They believed in me, so I want to give them my all. So, yeah.
We're going to stay on Zoom. Evie.
Mute myself here. Okay. Congratulations, Maddie. This
Thank
is
you.
with the rebelwalk.com. So excited for you.
Thank you.
Honestly, this is a basic question, but after all the years of work and blood and sweat and tears you've put into basketball, can you just describe what that moment was like for you to hear your name called?
I'm just so blessed. That's why you saw those tears, I have been blessed to play this game at a high level, 5 years straight, no injuries, God has placed me around great teammates. God has allowed me to experience things that I never thought I would experience, allowed me to create memories that I never, imagined, allowed me to travel the world and meet great players, even being here, surrounded by great players. I'm just extremely blessed, and I don't take, anything, for granted. So I'm just super excited, for all the work that I put in, before, and I'm just super excited for all the work that's to come as well, with God by my side. So super excited.
Oh, we have three more questions from the room. Madison, we're going to start second row right in the center.
Hi, Madison.
Hi.
Jackie Powell with the Next. I'm curious if you can share with us some of your earliest WNBA memories. Like, what was the player or the moment that made you fall in love with the league and think, ooh, like, I want to be there?
Candace Parker made me fall in love with the league. She's absolutely amazing. Her versatility, she's the GOAT, in my eyes. And what makes Candace so special to me is her presence. This is what I talked about, having impact, that leadership. Candace didn't always have to score, but Candace did other things. She was a stat stuffer, from rebounding to defending, blocks, assists, you name it. And that's what, I like to say that I do, stuff the stat sheet. I want to do whatever my team needs me to do to be successful. So Candace is a great example of that. I got to take a picture with her this weekend, and I was so excited, and I hope that I continue to be in settings with her so I can learn from her and gain knowledge from her, because I've been studying her forever. And I aspire to do a little of what she did in her career. So just grateful to be in a position to have conversations with her.
Madison, third row, central left.
Jambari Moreau Sports Media. Madison, congratulations.
Thank you.
Just one question. What's one thing about your game that fans will be surprised about in Dallas?
Surprised about? That's a good question. I think they'll be surprised maybe to see what I do on the offensive end. I think the sky's the limit, and there's a lot more to my game. And of course, there's a lot more work to be put in. But the sky's the limit. Like, there's really no ceilings to what I'm capable of doing. All it takes is belief, them believing in me believing in myself and God. So I just think that it's so much to be unlocked when I touch down there. So I'm just excited for it all. Excited for every single moment.
All right, we have two more questions. This will be the last one from the room. Madison, to your right in the third row.
Hey Madison, congratulations on being drafted. You talk about your pride as a defender. Who are you most excited to guard in the WNBA?
You know, I was asked this question earlier, and I know it's generic answer, but I said everybody, you know, because I'm a competitor. I'm like, I really, you know, I want to play against the best, you know, because I want to be the best one day. You know, you can't be what you can't see. You know, I know even if I'm out there in my, you know, like my rookie season, and let's say I'm guarding Brianna Stewart, and she comes down and she does what she does and scores on me. I still know that I'm getting better because I'm going against the best. I'm going against the WNBA champion. You get what I'm saying? Like, so no matter what, I'm gonna take each experience and learn from it and grow from it and be the best that I can be. So I want to guard everybody. I want every opportunity to be successful, to get better. I want it. So I'm going after that.
All right,
Thank you.
This will be our last question, going back to Mississippi to Brad. Brad, go ahead.
Hey, Madison, Brad Locke, Daily Journal in Tupelo. How you doing?
Great. How are you?
I'm good. I just want to ask you, having helped take Ole Miss from the cellar to a couple of Sweet 16s, now you're going to a team who has struggled of late. How do you feel like that Ole Miss experience can help you in this situation?
God makes no mistakes. I'm prepared. I'm prepared. Yes, Dallas hasn't, been in the top for a little while, but they have all the pieces. Great coaching staff, great GM, great players. They have all the pieces, and most importantly, they have the belief. And I think that's what separates it. At Ole Miss, nobody believed. Nobody believed in my decision to go there. Nobody believed that we can go to Sweet 16s. Nobody believed that we could have the success that we had. But I believed. You get what I'm saying? And I believe in Dallas. And I am so excited to get to work because I can't wait for all that's to come.
Thank you.
Madison, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, passion. Is it tears? Yeah. You could make me a believer. Why not?
All right, Cheyenne, we're going to start to your right in the front row. First two questions to your right in the front row.
Hi, Cheyenne Ciara with MTMV Sports. Congratulations. You described your college journey as amazing, tough, and nostalgic. Here on draft night, drafted, how does it feel to see everything come to fruition and lead to this moment?
Yeah, it's a sense of relief. It's a sense of joy, sense of gratitude, being grateful for the opportunity. I'm glad Golden State was willing to give a kid a chance.
Staying in the front row to your right.
Hey, how you doing? Chris from the Chris Gunther Show. Here you are, just got drafted, and now you're getting ready to go to the new franchise. Just can you take me through the excitement of this moment for you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm super excited to be part of the new team. I know we're gonna be ready to compete. We're gonna be ready to win. I'm super excited to get to play with Chloe Bibby again. I played with Kate Martin at the Kelsey Plum camp. So, I'm very familiar with some of my teammates, and, I'm just super excited.
Cheyenne, standing to your right.
How you doing, Cheyenne? This is Daniel Artest from the 9450. You come from a basketball lineage, built your own legacy at Maryland. What did being the engine of that team teach you, and how are you ready to do the same in the WNBA?
Can't do it alone. It taught me it takes a village. I mean, I've been surrounded by great teammates my entire career, so I'm super grateful for that. And I'm excited to build on that, and learn from the vets, learn from Tiffany Hayes, and just make an impact some way.
Cheyenne, next question, right by the television to the right.
To piggyback on Mr. Artest's question, your skill set is unique.
How do you envision that translating over to the W?
You know, being the most versatile I can be. I mean, I'm able to swing to multiple positions. So whatever coach needs me to play, I can play that, and I want to execute it at a high level.
We're going to go to Zoom for one question, and then we'll return to the room. I want to go to Maryland to Kyle.
Hey, Cheyenne, congratulations, first of all. I mean, this week has been packed with so much motion for you getting engaged and now getting drafted. I mean, how have you been riding that roller coaster, so to speak?
You know, I've just been trying to be present, be in the moment, be thankful. I mean, it's been a hectic week, so I haven't really gotten a chance to just relax. But and I know in the next couple of weeks I won't get to relax, but I'm just trying to be excited and grateful in the moment.
Hi, Cheyenne. DJ Harding, News Talk New England. I know everybody's talking about today and the now and getting drafted, but just real quick, I want you to reminisce a little bit. And like, what was your favorite college memory when playing basketball at Maryland?
Probably any time just the team hung out, or I mean, if we're talking about basketball memories, then probably when Diamond hit the game winner against Notre Dame. Like that was just something that was surreal and like part of history, and just how connected we were was pretty awesome. Or when Sarah hit the game winner against Ohio State this year, that was pretty nice too.
All right, Cheyenne, I want to go to Zoom for one. I'm going to go to Jordan. Jordan, go ahead.
Hey Cheyenne, Jordan from Television Sports. I just want to say congrats on getting drafted. I guess my question is, who's been someone you've watched, growing up and who you've modeled your game after?
Yeah, I've tried to model my game after Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird. I've enjoyed watching them my entire life, and I think Dee has the ferociousness and the competitiveness and the drive and the hunt to kill, and Sue is crafty with it. She likes to put a little pizzazz on there, but she also makes the right plays. So I think I've tried to mesh them two together.
Cheyenne, thank you.
Thank you.
One second. Sanaya, right? Sanaya, who's Sanaya Fagan? All right, Sanaya, congratulations and welcome. We're going to start with 3 questions back to back to back in the front row to your right.
Hi, Sanai. First, congratulations on being drafted. I just wanted to ask you, being from South Carolina, how did it feel having Dawn stay in the audience as you lived your dream out and got drafted?
I mean, it felt amazing just to see her out there. I mean, her support is amazing. She always supports, and just to see them and get so proud for me is amazing.
Staying in the front row to your right, Sanaya.
Hi, Sanaya. Ciara with MTMV Sports. From the little girl who gave the AAU team buckets, then recruited her, to hearing your name called on draft night, what does it feel like, and what did you think about how far you've come and what is next?
I mean, it's amazing. The feeling is like something you can't even explain. So just to know that I grew up and started from really nothing and got to where I am now is like amazing.
Good.
Sanaya, Chris from the Chris Gunther Show, thank you for taking this brief time out. What message does this send other young girls that look like you that aspire to follow in your footsteps?
Just to trust your process. I mean, everybody's process is different, so give it your all when you go out there. Be who you are, stay confident in who you are, and you'll end up where I am.
Right. Believe it. Okay, all the way in the back to the right of the televisions now.
Hi, Sanaya. How you doing? Congratulations, Kenny from NYLF TV. You've played in 4 Final Fours. You got 2 titles. How does that championship culture, how will that translate to the W for you, especially with you going to a team who's, sort of in a rebuild process?
Thank you. And I mean, it means a lot just to go there and carry on from where I just left from. So just to go there, showcase who I am, showcase where I came from, and enjoy the environment.
Sanaya, all the way to the right, standing here.
How you doing tonight? Daniel Artest from the 9450. You learned Don Staley in South Carolina, you learned winning, confidence. Like what sets you apart from these other athletes at this draft?
I can say I trusted my process. I stayed at South Carolina. I didn't play that much my first couple years, but I trust the process. I stuck through. I trusted the Lord's plan, and He got me to where I am now.
I want to go to Zoom for a question. I want to go to Jennifer. Jennifer, you're up, and then Blake.
Jennifer Porty from Let's Talk Women in Basketball. Who was your favorite WNBA player growing up? And what would your younger self say if she knew that you would be in the same league?
I could say my favorite WNBA player growing up would be Asia Wilson. And I'm sorry, what was the second question you asked?
And what would your younger self say if she knew that you would be in the same league as Asia Wilson?
I think she would just say like she's proud. I mean, way to stick it out, way to trust the process, way to be where you are now.
All right, we'll go to Blake.
Hey, this is Blake Spadaro from Lake Steak and W Swish. What are your expectations for your rookie season in the WNBA, and how do you think you'll adapt to the professional league?
I could say my expectations for the WNBA season is really just to learn from the vets, to understand and to trust my process and to be confident in everything I do.
All right, we'll stay on Zoom for one more. Chaz, if you would, go ahead, Chaz.
Hey, Sanaya, it's Chaz Frazier, ABC Columbia. What was it like waiting to hear your name called? And then I thought it was pretty cool. It was like nearly back to back to back, the trio of Gamecocks to get drafted. Can you describe what that meant? And has the group chat been going off with all of you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it meant a lot to me just to know that we all got drafted back to back to back. I texted the group chat, let them know congratulations because I mean, we did it, we made it this far, and it just means a lot to be here with my teammates.
Thanks, Sanaya.
All right, Sanaya, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Who we got next? Hang tight 1 second.
She can go. I don't think there's anything behind it. You want to go all set? All set. Oh, we're not.
No.
Are we done?
All right, everybody, we have Caitlin Chen. We're going to begin right away with question and answer. Go ahead. Caitlin, 1 second. Let's have a few people join us. Once again, those of you in the back, Caitlin Chen is with us. We'd like to begin right away.
Hey, Caitlin, congratulations. Maggie Benoni from CT Insider. Just what's going through your head right now, being drafted, of the journey you've had this past year with UConn?
Honestly, still in a little bit of shock. It's all a little overwhelming. I was really just here to watch Paige get drafted, and I'm so happy for her. But it's been an unreal night.
I'm sorry. Next two questions, Caitlin, will come from the left side of the room.
Hi, Caitlin. Emily Adams, Hartford Current. What was kind of your expectations coming into tonight? What was the moment like when you got to kind of share with the team and get pulled up on stage?
I didn't really have any expectations coming into the night, but to be able to experience that with my team all around me and them all jumping and screaming was pretty amazing.
Caitlin, third row to your left.
Caitlin, right here. Daniel Connolly, the UConn blog. You said you came in with no expectations, but as the draft went on and it got into the third round, did you start feeling any emotions and any anxiety, any nerves?
Not really, but Caroline next to me kept telling me to like be ready. She almost didn't let us use the bathroom just in case.
All right, Caitlin, next question will come all the way to the right on this side of the room here, standing.
Hi, Caitlin. Ryan Florenson from the local WNBA Daily. You're joining a Valkyries team that's sort of beginning to lay its foundation. What's the most exciting aspect of being able to sort of like set a good foot for a new organization in the league?
To just be a part of something that's starting from scratch and being able to be a part of that sort of build.
All right, Caitlin, next two questions will come from the third row, center right.
Hey, Caitlin, congratulations on getting drafted. How does it feel to be able to go back to your home state and play for the Golden State Valkyries? Just speak a little bit to the importance of that and being able to go home and be a bit closer, I'm assuming, to family as well.
It's really exciting. My parents have been through so much with me, and they've been there for every step of the way. I know that red eye across the country to the East Coast is not the easiest, so I'm glad it'll now be an hour flight for them instead of 5. So yeah, it means a lot to be able to go back to the West Coast.
Congratulations, first of all. Lucas Kaplan with the Nets Daily. I just want to know if there was a moment or a year or whatever when basketball went from a passion, a hobby, whatever, to something that you had an idea that you wanted to treat professionally or started taking it more seriously, whatever comes to mind.
Probably not a specific moment or year. I sort of feel like with basketball, I've just sort of let it take me on this journey, and I haven't really had any expectations from the start. And I was lucky enough to have such a great time at Princeton and be so successful there. And I was lucky enough to be given the opportunity to come to UConn. So I think I'm just taking everything as it goes, and it's been a pretty great ride so far.
Caitlin, second row to your right.
Jonathan Tannenwald from the Philadelphia Inquirer. Caitlin, congratulations. Second year in a row that multiple players with Ivy League ties have heard their name called after what was a remarkable March for the conference, even though you obviously had bigger things to do. What's it like to know that Harmony was also in this draft with you and that the level of the league is just continuing to stay that high?
Yeah, Harmony is a amazing player, super talented, and she always has been since we played each other my sophomore year. I think it just says a lot about the Ivy League and how competitive it is as a conference and how great players are able to get a great education, but also a really amazing or a really great and successful basketball experience.
Caitlin, one more question. We're going to go last row to the right of the television.
How you doing, Caitlin? Kenny with NYLF TV. Congratulations on winning a championship and then getting drafted. Obviously, you weren't expecting to hear your name called, but Something like this happened last year. The number one overall pick, their teammate was called late, and she happens to be your teammate now. So, what do you think that conversation will be like with Kate Martin, with you guys just kind of going through the same experience back to back?
I'm sure it'll be funny. Looking forward to meeting everyone and just sort of learning from everyone. Yeah.
Caitlin, one more question is going to come from your right, standing here on the side.
How you doing, Caitlin? Daniel Artest from the 9450. Your coach right here, took a chance on you, and you pretty much, lived up to the UConn standards. So, like, how has your coach has inspired you along your journey?
I'm just really grateful that he gave me the opportunity to come to UConn and be able to learn from him and play alongside such great teammates and give me the chance to play college basketball at the highest level and win a natty.
Thank you. Caitlin, thank you. Okay. Guys are going to be joined by Aubrey.
No.
Far left. All right, Aubrey, our first question will come from your left, second row.
Hey, Aubrey, congratulations. Maggie Benoni, CT Insider. You've been at stores now for 6 years. What does this moment mean to you and knowing what you've overcome to be here?
I mean, it means a lot. This year, I've been through a lot, physically, mentally, and just to be present in this moment, I'm so grateful and just blessed. I'm so excited I got to share the moment with Kate and Paige, and I'm just super happy to be here.
Aubrey, we're going to stay in the second row center.
Hey, Aubrey, congrats. Emily Adams from the Hartford Courant. Can you just kind of take us through those couple of minutes there where you're watching Caitlin get pulled out of the audience and then your name pops up on the screen?
I mean, honestly, it's just surreal, and I'm super proud of Caitlin, and I'm super just excited to be here, and I'm just blessed. I honestly didn't think I would get picked, so I'm just super grateful that I can be able to continue playing the game that I love, and I'm just lost for words right now.
All right, we're going to need you to have a few more words because we've got a few more questions. All right, we're going to stay on the left side of the room, third row.
Aubrey, even if you had no expectations, did you start feeling any nerves as the draft started to wind down? I mean, second to last pick, there's not a whole lot of wiggle room at that point.
Yeah, honestly, I came here to support my teammates, Paige, Caitlin, and I was just being present in the moment, just cheering them on, just trying to focus on them really. And I ended up getting picked, and I'm just super blessed and very, very happy.
Aubrey, we're going to stay right here, front row to your right.
Hey, Aubrey, Chris from the Chris Gunther Show. Thank you for taking this time out and congratulations to you. When you look back over this night, years from now, what is the thing that you're going to remember the most?
It's definitely a night to remember. I'm just going to embrace being here with my teammates and just the support system that I've had this whole year. It's meant a lot. Just going through injury and just working my way back. It means a lot just to be in this moment with them and just to overall just be here.
All right, Aubrey, third row to your right.
Aubrey right here, Leo Chanakaya with Mail Sport. Congratulations on getting drafted tonight. I know there are a lot of things going through your head and you're feeling a lot of emotions right now, but you're joining the Lynx who are just coming out of a finals campaign despite not achieving that goal. Is there a certain type of excitement or pressure that comes to joining such a strong squad there as well?
Yeah, a strong squad means strong people to look up to and strong leaders that can lead me the right way. So like I'm just gonna go in and learn from my vets and just be a sponge, soak up everything, and just stay overall present and just work hard get better every day, and just look up. Like you said, we have a strong team, so just look up to them and I'll follow their way.
Aubrey, next question, center, third row.
Hey, Lucas Kaplan, Nets Daily. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I just kind of wanted to ask a few people, when did basketball go from something you enjoyed doing, something that was a passion, to something you started to treat, almost as a profession? Now you're a professional, just more seriously. Anything that kind of comes to mind?
Yeah, I actually started playing soccer up until 7th grade, and my brothers, they played, so they were playing in the yard, and I would just go play for fun, and then it just got really competitive, and I was like, I want to take this really seriously. So ever since then, like 8th grade, I've been taking it very serious and something that I saw that I could do for my future.
All right, Aubrey, we got, I believe, 2 more questions for you. So, Jackie, we're going to start center right in the middle.
Hi, Aubrey. Jackie Powell with the Next. Both you and Sonia Citron were drafted tonight, 2 women's basketball talents from Westchester. I guess, how wild is it, for both of you to be drafted tonight? Have you thought about that?
I'm super excited for her. I grew up playing against her when she was at Ursuline. So I'm just excited, happy to see her journey. She's came a long way. And I'm just glad she was able to have the same moment I had tonight.
And just to follow up, to be someone from the New York metro area, to be able to have a moment like this, what does that mean to you?
I mean, it means a lot. This moment in general, I can't even put into words, but I'm just super grateful, and it means a lot coming from New York, and just my whole journey from being at Austining to UConn to now here. It's surreal.
All right, we have time for just 1 or 2 more, Aubrey. We're going to go standing to your right in the back.
Hey, Aubrey, Gabby Lucevero from NBC Connecticut. We talked a lot towards the end of your college career about getting to end on your terms. And I feel like some of that was so finite, but nothing's ending right now. Can you just speak to the injuries that you've been through and what the work it's taken to get to sit right here?
I mean, I've been through a lot of injuries. Well, a couple of injuries, and I've worked just my way back every time just to come back stronger and get better mentally, physically, and I've just been prepared for anything. So I'm just super grateful. I now get the opportunity to continue playing somewhere, and I'm just gonna soak it all in tonight and just continue to do what I do.
All right. Aubrey, this will be our last questions. Standing to your right. I'm sorry, right here. I'm sorry, right here.
Hi, I'm Brian Florenson from the local WNBA Daily. You're going from a coach with championship experience in Coach Oriema now to Minnesota with another coaching championship experience with Coach Reed. How do you think your time in Connecticut will help best prepare you for the intensity of the WNBA and a team like Minnesota in particular?
Yeah, I think my time at UConn has prepared me off the court, on the court, especially with great coaches, Coach Gino, and just everyone there has prepared me in a way that I feel like I'm ready and I'm confident to step into the league, and just my work ethic also will carry me and help me succeed as well. Thank you.
Aubrey, thank you. Aubrey, we're gonna turn you back to Anna just one last time. You're all done. You're set.
I'm good.
You're set.